So, chapter 9, I believe, of Misty Runs and Runs and Runs. So, in the last chapter, Lori had caught me intentionally running Misty headlong into the barn, which Misty would do quite contentedly, well, till she literally fell over. So, on Monday morning, I go out quite early. I want to make sure this is done in particular before Cindy gets there. I put the old work saddle on, girth as tight as I can get it, and I go out into one of the back fields where there's a 15-foot tall chain link fence around a factory that was sectioned off from the corner of the farm. I mean, it's an industrial chain link fence with the barbed wires, 3 strands at the top. It's tight, it's new, it's everything. And I proceed to just let Misty fling herself. I mean, every time she runs, I just aim her at the fence, and she runs headlong into the fence. And then as she's spinning, trying to buck me off, I aim her at the fence, give her her head, she charges into the fence. I do this until she literally collapses out of exhaustion. Wait for her to recover enough to get up on her feet. She and I wobble over to the old fence line with the apple trees and stuff growing up along the old dormant tractor path. And I've taken the saddle off. Misty's standing there with her head down, blowing out. She's all lathered up. I'm sitting there on a rock, eating an apple from the tree above me. And out of a cusp of trees up on the rocky knoll, we called it, emerges Lori on Rocket. And she circles a wary distance around. Rocket was looking a little wild-eyed and a bit spooky. So she ties Rocket to a tree, 30-40 feet down. She walks up and she's checking Misty's pulse, with her wristwatch. I'm sitting there eating this apple, and she says, her capacity to recover is astounding. She must be in the most excellent of conditioning. He said, well, I wonder how long this kind of business is going on. I might not be the first one, right? Lori can't believe it. She checks her watch and the horse's pulse again, and she's like, incredible. She's looking better than you are. So I'm sure she is. I said, you were up in that cusp on the knoll all along, weren't you? She kind of looks at me. I said, your bridle wasn't in the tack room, Lori. You knew what I was up to. You're probably out there at first light, were you? She's like, oh. I said, I thought you said you didn't have the stomach for it. She says, I don't now. That's a fact. She said, so you start tomorrow again in the morning and again in the afternoon. I said, yeah, that's the deal. She says, fine. I'll get the girls. We'll plan to leave the farm to fit your schedule. She goes over, she gets Rocket, she comes back. She checks Misty's pulse yet again. She says, I don't know. I think the mare might win, Scott. To look at you, I'm still sweating and sitting there all knackered. So Lori picked up the work saddle, just slung it on Rocket, and walked Rocket back to the barn. This is her last effort at, a concession towards saying, well, that's the best I can do to help you because I don't have the stomach for it. So the next day, then the Tuesday, I come out in the morning and the girls are there saddling up, and Cindy's all excited. Oh, we're gonna go off the farm all morning and afternoon. We're gonna go down to the park, and we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna have lunch, ride over to the sand dunes. We won't be home till just before dinner. Scott, are you coming with us? I said, no, I got the cows are worrying the fence along the back there again. I got to look after that. You girls go and have fun, I see Rhonda kind of looks quizzically at me. They saddle up. Cindy's really exuberant to be off the farm, for a whole day. This will be her first time, right? And so Misty and I go at it morning and afternoon. Pretty well maps my whole day out by the time I got to brush her down, recover myself, repeat. Yeah, okay. Wednesday comes, and now I've been keeping Misty stashed in a little stall, forgotten kind of stall in the back of the loafing barn, because at this time of year nobody goes there, right? It's hay storage in the winter, and the tractor lives in there and stuff. The girls have no reason to go in there, because Misty's showing the worst of the wear for this, right? Well, so am I. But anyways, so Wednesday, same deal. Cindy, hey, we're not even going to come home for supper. We're going to have hot dogs out in the campfire in the sand dunes after we go here, there. And are you coming? No. Same deal, right? I got too much to do. So they head off down the drive, and I see Rhonda turns around and comes back. I've headed into the little green barn to get the work saddle and the bridle for Misty. She steps off and reins the horse around the gas barrel, and she comes in. She says, Misty's a mess. Do you know what you're doing? I said, well, I hope I do, Rhonda. I don't know. Did you and Lori discuss this? She says, no, Lori never said anything, but I was wondering about these off-farm excursions, but I get it. You don't want Cindy to see what Misty looks like. I said, no. Rhonda looks me up and down. She says, I don't imagine you look much better. So, well, not really. Rhonda gives me a little kiss. She says, you will be careful, Scott. I said, well, as much as I can be. Yeah, another kiss would help, Rhonda. She's like, yeah, I think one's enough, but I follow her out. I got the saddle and bridle. She climbs up on Sky and turns and says, oh, you will be careful. Sure I will, Rhonda. Have fun, right? So Misty and I fling ourselves. By now, the fence, I wonder if anybody at the factory notices, because it must have looked like I was thrashing it with the tractor, not just the horse. So I'll leave this video here, I think, and we'll pick up on Thursday morning.